Well, greetings and welcome into Naked Nudists and Naturists, episode 80 today. You heard that right, 80. The official podcast, the American Association for Nude Recreation. Lisa and I are members. You can become one today, AANR.com. I hear some music in the background. Could it be? Yes, it is. It's time for the great, the terrific, the one-of-a-kind, Lisa Monroe. And here she is, the one and only, the one-of-a-kind, the completely clothes-free and fully smiling, our naturism correspondent, Lisa Monroe. Good morning, Lisa. How are you today?
Good morning, Frank. I'm doing really, really well this morning. It's a new year. What can I tell you? We've got lots to go ahead of us.
And the question is this. If you could do one thing naked that you can't do naked right now, what would it be? Now, I have some thoughts on that, but I'm going to turn to you first. Something you do often, maybe every day, once a week, twice a year, whatever, but you have to have clothes on when you do it. And I don't want to put ideas in your head, but if you could pick one of those things, or two or three, and do them fully naked, what would your choice or choices be?
That's an excellent question because, as naturists, we sort of we wish we could do everything without the burden of clothes. That's a very interesting question. The very first thing came to mind because, we live in a state that has a lot of beautiful natural parks and even just within the city itself, gorgeous places to go, botanical gardens, that kind of thing. But I think one thing I love to do is walk in the woods and, feel that nature around you without having the burden of clothes. So maybe that's it, just the access to go to a city park or to a state park or to, a seashore that is not a normal beach and just be able to enjoy it in a natural way. That's, going in the grocery store, maybe not so much because it's cold. But I think maybe that freedom to just maybe go into a park and be able to walk through without having to worry about it.
And Lisa Monroe, with all that having been said, go out there and have a great clothes-free week. Happy New Year again. We'll see you next time.
Happy New Year to you and to all, and you have a wonderful week too. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. The very terrific Lisa Monroe. We thank her for all of her time, and she puts in countless hours, not only to do these segments with me every single week, 80 Saturdays in a row. How about that? But she does all of our merchandise store work. She does all of our website work. She helps manage the Patreon page, and we thank her for everything. She does those Thursday memes on Twitter. We have them on Blue Sky now as well. Well, you are listening to Naked Nudists and Naturists, episode 80 today. Really glad that you are with us, enjoying this clothes-free hour, and hopefully you're clothes-free as well. And now let's get to part two of my interview with Chris from MUDWALKERS.
Like you said, my content is usually free. Some of the content is Patreon exclusive, things like the World Naked Bike Rides. Those tend to be Patreon exclusive. But I'm not charging money to see me. People can see me for free on Twitter or Vimeo or wherever.
Right.
It's not about the nudity. It's about the fact that I need the support. I was talking to a friend at the Christian Naturist Festival earlier this year about how when you start pulling on one of your beliefs, it's like there are strings tied to thousands of pegs, and you pull on this one belief, and a lot of other pegs begin to lean because of the tug of that little string tied to that peg. The issues around naturism and the Bible, once you pull out that modesty peg, it's amazing how many other things get pulled on when you do that. I think that's also part of why people resist the idea of naturism, is they can sense that tug. Wait a second. If I admit that, if I change my mind about that, how many strings are attached to that, and what am I going to have to do about it? And it scares people.
Mm-hmm. Well, great to have had you on for the full-length interview. You have a lot to say. We're going to have you on again down the road and let us know when you're ready to go, maybe after you've done another World Naked Bike Ride or something, or if something else comes out in your life and your world, let us know. We've been talking to Chris, MUDWALKERS. And Chris, your website again and how people can find you?
The website is nakedmeanshuman.com. There are no spaces or hyphens. It's just nakedmeanshuman.com. And there you can sign up for my newsletter if you'd like to keep track of my content and what I'm up to. Again, if I get deleted from YouTube, which probably will happen eventually, then you'll have instant access to my content anyway directly. You can also find me on Patreon, patreon.com/MUDWALKERS. And there you can financially support what I do. We have very reasonable tiers. At the time of this recording, the lowest tier is actually just $5 a month. Mm-hmm. So for the price of a bougie cup of coffee, you can support what I do.
That's excellent. Great work. Keep on doing all that you're doing. Again, Chris, MUDWALKERS, go out there and have a great close-free day. We'll talk again soon.
You too, Frank. Thanks so much.
Thank you. The very terrific Chris from MUDWALKERS. He does a video show. He does a podcast all about Christian naturism. This whole naked thing is normal and natural, the way we were meant to be. And Chris is out there promoting it all of the time. Chris from MUDWALKERS. And we thank him for his appearance on this show over the last 2 episodes. And on the next 2 shows, episodes 81 and 82, our featured guest will be Matt, the bearded naked yogi from the UK. Well, you've been listening to Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, episode 80 today. We give you a brand new show every Saturday morning at 6 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. Continue to join us. Check us out on our website, nakednudistandnaturist.com, Spotify, Google, Amazon/Audible, Apple Podcasts, and also on Twitter. You can write us anywhere, anytime, any place. And we thank you for being with us today. Plan to join us for every single one of our shows here and have your clothes off when you're listening. We have our clothes off when we're broadcasting, enjoying the naturist life.
We celebrate clothes-free living for all. Remember to enjoy being naked and join us again for Naked, Nudist, and Naturist.
We drop a brand new show every Saturday morning, so come back and join us. Have your clothes off when you do for Naked, Nudist, and Naturist. Have a great clothes-free day.